What do most people not realize is a huge waste of money? Funerals. When I die, just throw me in the trash. People always say this, but the funeral isn't for the dead person, it's for the people left behind to come together and grieve. Obviously, don't spend a ton of money, but some people like to gather around remains, share memories, let out some emotions, and give the death some ceremony as part of their process for working through their grief. The dead don't need any process for working through their grief, they're already dead. This might be slightly off topic, but tea annoyed me nonetheless. The other day, an Audi commercial came on. It was about a woman working at a good job but instead opted to quit and start her own business. The first thing she does is buy a brand new F*** King Audi SUV. How are you going to start your own business when you just dropped a sh*t ton of money to buy that new car? As a smoker, cigarettes by far the idiotic addiction I have. I would say a lot of baby toys. You spend hundreds on certain flashy, expensive gifts that just sit unused in the corner, and then they play with that trinket you picked up from the pound shop all the time. I know it's a bit cliche, but my experience so far is that kids often just want to play with the cardboard box, so to speak. You don't need to spend hundreds on a 1 to 3-year-old in terms of toys and games. I used to work at IKEA, and the one item that kids would have tantrums over are the dish brushes that have the suction part at the end. Kids have such a wild imagination, so there really is no point in buying them expensive toys, they will play with what they find. Big A*** weddings. It's okay if you can afford it, but if you're gonna be in debt, then what's the point? In my case, my father-in-law was willing to spend money on the wedding but wouldn't let us have a cheap wedding and use the rest for a down payment on a house. So we had a $22,000 wedding. $22,000 unfortunately seems like the average these days. My GF's friend was just telling her the lighting, stage setup she wanted was almost $10,000 alone. Anything you buy on SAT that you weren't planning to buy in the first place gives you that rush of buying something when you feel like you're getting a good deal. Paying $400 billion for a fiber network system that was never delivered. True story. Edit, that number is correct, I accidentally typed 4 bill at the end instead of 400 bill. Every time this gets brought up I die a little more inside. Where is the accountability, man? Like what the actual F***ck? Where is the F*** king oversight? I'm honestly confused as to why someone hasn't raised actual hell over this. Businessmen and politicians don't go to jail in this country unless the rest of them need a scapegoat. Even then, it's a slap on the wrist. Bank fees just for having an account. Get thee to a credit union. Edit, your mileage may vary, people. Point is, it pays to shop around. Not in Poland. Credit unions are backwards, and in regular banks you pay no fees if you use your debit card few times a month. Super easy, even your mom and pop veggie store has a payment terminal nowadays. Pyramid schemes such as "it works," etc. painfully exaggerated eye roll. I seriously hate it works. The thing that's the most infuriating to me are the people who brag about what a blessing it's been for them financially and how they're almost out of debt just doing it on the side. Then they post pictures of the checks they get but blur out how much the check was for. I'm like B***tch, that check could be for $5 stinkin' bucks. If you want to convince me it's profitable to join up, show me some actual numbers. Timeshares. Almost never worth it, and the maintenance fees alone for the privilege of owning 1 or 2 weeks a year, shared with dozens of others, is simply throwing money away. My brother and I have one that we actually make money on, usually $100 per year, and it's still almost not worth it for the sheer frustration of getting it rented. We didn't buy it either, it was our parents' existing. It's cheaper to return to the void. Microtransactions in video games. Had a friend who spent more than $300 on Fortnite. This guy the first worked with used to brag to me every week that he bought everything in the item store on Fortnite that week. Something like $400 a month on F*** King Fortnite. The cherry on top was this guy was 27 and always trying to bum rides and complaining about not being able to afford a car. He lived with his grandparents too. Yeah dude, I'm so jealous of you. Oh, you got the Raven skin? Cool, I have a house and a car. For the record, I also played Fortnite, which is why he was bragging to me about skins. Y'all can stop messaging me defending Fortnite. Huge birthday parties for a baby turning 1 year old. Parents that take their kids on vacations they won't remember. Apparently I went to Disney World when I was fish, thanks mom and dad. My parents refused to take the 4 of us kids to Disney until the last 2 were over 10, meaning I was around 14 and my older sister was graduating high school. Mom didn't want to haul around the double stroller for the younger 2. I was a hyper little sh*t when I was younger, and none of us were ready for the big rides until we were older. We bitched and complained when we were younger, but when we finally went, we realized what it would have been like for my mom with all us as youngsters and were able to appreciate it more. As an assistant teacher at a preschool, this may seem silly to everyday life, but in preschool per day care life I hate when parents waste so much money on specific diets and essential oils on their children who don't need or use them. Stop sending your child in with your Wanderlust Apple Crush essential oil. Yeah, it's in quotes for a reason. We all know it's *T juice. Obligatory edit, I'm off work and tipsy as F***ck since it's VBS. Let this post die not buying things you use a lot in bulk. You just offended my 64 ounces Tajin bottle that has been collecting dust for 6 months. Lottery tickets and cigarettes. I'll throw $10 at the Powerball when it gets to $500 million. F***ck it. It's fun to fantasize about and it's not like I'm pissing money away on it more than a couple of times a year. Yep. Anyone who tries to sell a used diamond is in for the cold slap of reality. I felt the horrible slap of reality's *ck giving me a mushroom stamp last year when I was trying to get rid of an engagement ring. I paid just shy of $8,000 for it. I was offered $650 for it and it is currently sitting in my closet. For those in the market for an engagement ring, do not convince yourself that it is an investment in any way, shape, or form. It is a trinket that we are brainwashed into believing defines our love for someone else. Constantly eating out. Making your own meals is usually cheaper depending on what you make. If you're on your own, you can usually get several meals out of one meal. Starbucks. If you're going to buy fancy coffee, support your local coffee shops. They are usually less expensive than Starbucks and the coffee is just as good.